So today I'm excited to be checking out the brand new Invictus Victory. So at this point, Invictus, the line doesn't really excite me all that much. The original isn't really my favorite anymore. Aqua is fantastic, and I like that one mostly for nostalgic reasons, just because it's one of the first summer fragrances I got into back when it first came out in 2016. I was really getting into collecting at that point. I wasn't into it too hard, and from there, Legend and so on, it's not really all that great. However, the breakdown and the bottle and everything about Victory looks to be pretty promising. So this could perhaps be a really good solid flanker, even for the enthusiast. I'm excited to check this one out. I did get this one in the 200ml bottle, which comes in an obnoxiously large box, so I'm curious to see what the 200ml looks like. I haven't gotten any of those 200ml Invictuses before, so I figured might as well check it out here, because maybe it's going to be good, and it'll be worth picking up this bottle size. So here it is in all its glory, Invictus Victory in the 200ml bottle. This one is listed as an Eau de Parfum Extreme concentration. Now, I have to admit, right off the bat, the 200ml looks better than I thought. I was thinking it was going to look kind of goofy, but they really just elongated the bottle, and it doesn't look too bad. What I do like about the bottle is that it's all blacked out with a nice kind of bronze gold there for the V. It does look very sharp, very slick. I love the blacked out top here. Normally this comes like a chrome finish, which really kind of looks cheap in my opinion, and kind of as a whole the Invictus bottles look kind of tacky and cheap. It's a cool idea, but they don't look that great in my opinion. However, this one here, being all blacked out, does look pretty sleek, and I have to admit, it does look pretty sharp. Really, honestly, pretty happy with the presentation here right off the bat. So seeing the presentation, I'm excited to try this one out. Let's go ahead and give it a spray. Atomizer is pretty good. Maybe that's how they all are. Maybe I haven't sprayed Invictus for a while, but that seems to be better than what I remember. So let's go ahead and smell this one. So right off the bat here, I'm getting bubblegum, a bubblegummy sweetness. It doesn't smell straight up like the opening of Invictus or Invictus Legend or Invictus Aqua. You don't get that like fruity, aquatic saltiness type of smell. Here I'm getting a bit more of a bubblegummy sweetness, and kind of it's taking away that aquatic, overly fresh citrus type of blast you get from a lot of the others. And to explain why that is, I want to quickly run over the note breakdown for you guys, just so it'll make a little bit more sense. Up top, we have pink pepper and lemon. In the mid, we have olibanum and lavender. And in the base, we have tonka bean, vanilla, and amber. So according to the note breakdown, it completely takes out all of the C notes, the aquatic notes, the ambroxan, and really it takes out all of the citrus fruitiness except for lemon listed up there in the top notes. For me, coming through right away is this nice, somewhat spicy pink pepper, but also a nice warm and sweet tonka bean and vanilla mixture there. And the olibanum is also kind of aiding to that sweetness and that vanilla type of smell, also giving it a little bit of a balsamic type of touch. I'm finding that the lavender in this one is present, and it kind of gives you somewhat of a different balance. You see the tonka bean, you see the vanilla, you see the amber, and immediately you're going to be thinking that it's going to be ultra sweet. Now, while it is on the sweet side, you have that lavender, you have maybe just a touch of a lemon there in the top, giving it a little bit of a freshness. I also find that the lemon kind of mixes with the sweeter notes to give it a little bit of this somewhat gourmand, lemon, edible type of smell, ever so slightly here. Just kind of giving it a fruitiness, a sweetness with a little bit of that freshness as well. So I just did a spray on my hand to check out the opening here, and really it's going to be a similar thing. However, on my hand, the amber is coming through immediately, a lot quicker than it did on paper. And here it's all about amber, vanilla, and tonka bean. Still get a little of that pink pepper blast, maybe that touch of a lemon, a little bit of a citrus fruitiness, and of course the lavender coming through, just kind of giving it somewhat of a kind of a clean undertone. Lavender really is a nice counterbalancing note because it does kind of, dial back the overload of sweetness that you would get from the tonka bean, the amber, vanilla, which are all very heavy, very sweet, and very potent notes. I find that the lavender does kind of strike a nice balance, kind of brings it back to the surface a little bit and doesn't make it overly sweet. When you look at certain fragrances like Armani Code Absolute, Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male, those type of scents that are just very, very, very sweet, this one doesn't quite fit into there. And again, it's that nice counterbalance, that nice mixture of the clean lavender, a bit of that spicy kick. That really does bring it back and it tones it back. Now, I have to say, immediately when spraying this one on and smelling it, I really wouldn't say that this smells like an Invictus flanker. It really doesn't. For me, all of the other Invictus flankers smell like Invictus. And that's no surprise there. That's what you would expect. And it's true. Yes, the Invictus flankers still go back to that bubblegummy DNA. And while this one does have that bubblegum sweetness about it, it doesn't necessarily smell like Invictus. And if you think about it, it makes sense because they're taking back that salty, aquatic, and kind of fresh kick that you get from Invictus. They're completely taking it out of this one, and they're focusing on some notes which have a bit more of a uniqueness to them, a bit more variety. There's really a lot of things you can do with tonka bean, vanilla, and amber there in the base. And they've kind of focused on that and created something that is different. So normally, like I've said before, Invictus, the line, isn't really my favorite. Aqua is just great for summertime. I really like that one and I always will. But the original Invictus, Invictus Legend, and even Invictus Intense aren't really my favorites. However, I have to say, when it comes down to it, Victory, sitting here so far, might be one of my favorites. It's completely different than Aqua, so it's hard to compare the two. Oh, I like this one more, or I like Aqua more, because they're completely different. It gets to a point where it's hard to say which one you like more when they are in completely different territories. But I would say, Aqua excluded, this would be my favorite Invictus flanker so far, just right off the first impressions here, just because it does add some variety, it adds some uniqueness, and it does something different. I'm a fan of vanilla, tonka bean mixtures, and of course amber thrown in there as well. And I like the spiciness and the freshness that this one has too. I just think that this is a bit more of a well thought out version. And when you look at the bottle, you look at the note breakdown, you look at the name, it really does portray something that is pretty accurate to the scent, something that is very confident, very sexy, great mass appealing type of scent, but of course is also going to add just a bit of a unique flair. For people like us who are really into fragrances, Invictus may not excite you, but this one may make you scratch your head a little bit, and I could see myself maybe gravitating towards this one if I was in the mood for something that was sweet. Of course, performance is going to need to be tested, and I will do a full review on this one later on in the future where I can update you guys on performance. But, for fall and winter time, I would say this one would be a nice solid option for you if you want to go sweet but still have that mass appeal and just a little bit of that freshness in there as well. So I have to say, I think Paco Rabanne did a great job with this flanker. Invictus, it's always going to be around. I'm sure this is not going to be the last Invictus flanker, but I do think they did step it up here with this one. They gave us something different, they gave us something unique, and I really like that. And of course, I have to say the bottle, by far my favorite. I mean, that just looks cool, and I do like the 200 ml bottle size. Really sharp looking, very nice. This will look great on the shelf, and in my opinion, looks a lot better than the chrome-topped Invictus fragrances. I just think this is very sleek, very clean looking. So guys, that's it. That's my first impressions on Invictus Victory. If you guys have tried this one, let me know what you think down below. If you haven't had a chance to try this one yet, tell me if you're excited to. Is this one that you're going to check out, sample, or blind buy? Or are you just done with Invictus and you're just going to move past it? Let me know in the comments. This is also not going to be the last of the new releases. I still have more I'm going to cover in the future on the channel. It's been a very busy year so far. Last year we didn't get a whole lot, but this year they've really been hitting us hard with the new releases, so it's kept us busy. I have to say though, Invictus Victory, better than I thought. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.